Also on Capitol Hill today, not quite as explosive, but still interesting, a House subcommittee on education and the workforce grilled elementary and high school administrators today on the rising occurrences of anti-Semitism in elementary school, all right, in high school. Now, we're not talking college campuses. We're talking about the little kids. The fact that they're being indoctrinated with anti-Semitism, wow, that's shocking. So what do we learn from today's hearing, and how pervasive is this? Well, joining me now to discuss this is Meg Kilgannon. She's all things education. She is our senior fellow for education studies here at the Family Research Council. She served in the Department of Education during the Trump administration. Meg, welcome back.
Good to be back.
You know what? You're going to get your own name card right there. You were here yesterday. So what we learn from today?
Well, I appreciated what the committee was trying to do today. It was trying to explain, we just had the segment with Senator Daines on what's going on in college campuses. And it's important, I think, for Americans to understand that this doesn't happen when kids get to college. It certainly can happen when kids get to college. But the foundation is laid in high school and in elementary school as well.
Where's that coming from?
The fact that we are, in many ways, a post-religious America, unfortunately, and the fact that the elementary schools and high schools are using an oppressor-oppressed kind of a paradigm.
So this is part of the Marxist
Absolutely.
ideology.
Absolutely.
So is this, I don't know if you heard my conversation with Senator Daines a few moments ago. You should be, because every good American is listening to me when I'm talking about
I heard the whole thing.
So the reality is that this vacuum that's created by pushing God out of the public square is going to be filled by something else.
It's filled by something much worse.
Right. And that's what's giving rise to this darkness.
Absolutely. And so that was the point that they were hoping to get across today at this hearing, is that we need to focus on colleges, right? But we also need to understand that younger children are being brainwashed in these ways as well.
And that was a part of my conversation last week with the speaker, was that this was an all of Congress effort, because you have to expose the tentacles of this anti-Semitism. What we're seeing is a manifestation on college campuses, but as you just said, it starts way before that.
Right. And it sometimes is explicitly anti-Semitic.
Right.
Other times it is more general in nature.
Or it's just tilling the ground.
Yes.
Preparing for those seeds of anti-Semitism to be planted.
Right. It's that I'm so glad that we had the video footage of the statue of George Washington there in that segment before, because it's just shocking to see that. And to know that that's happening 2 blocks from the White House.
Here's what I want people to hear on this, 'cause this is just one issue. It's a big issue. It matters a lot to me, because I think as Senator Daines talked about, I agree with him 100%. And I said this when I had my meeting with the Prime Minister, that I believe America's future is intertwined with Israel. Israel has a future. It's promised in Scripture as a Bible-believing Christian. I believe that. America's uncertain. And I believe, given that we've walked away from biblical truth, the one thing that has God's hand of protection, I think, upon this nation is because we've been a protector of Israel. We walk away from that, I'm not certain about our future. But that said, we need to be aggressive, all right? Aggressive is what I just said. I used the word aggressive in spreading the gospel and encouraging Christians to live out their faith. What I mean by that, it's time to be bold. It's time to be courageous, because we're now seeing the fruit of our being complicit with the idea that there was supposed to be some kind of neutrality in the public space. There is no such thing as neutrality.
No, I think that's right. And the proof of that is the fact that when we have any sort of quasi-neutral space, it's not neutral, right?
No.
In fact, horrible things are flooding into that space,
and Jesus
filling
said,
that
look,
vacuum.
Jesus said, either you're for me or against me. Either you're gathering with me or you're scattering. So this idea that there's some kind of this despiritualized zone that we go into in public is a lie of the enemy. Now, I've never bought into that, but I'm saying this for the benefit of those who think that, well, we just need this moral neutrality. There is no such thing as moral neutrality. And what we see happening on college campuses, what is now working its way into the hearts and minds of young people across this country, is evil taking advantage of that idea that there can be moral neutrality.
And if we believe we have the truth, we shouldn't be ashamed to share it. We should be very proud and, in fact, honor-bound to do so.
Right. The truth. It is the truth that will set us free. And so my appeal to believers all across this country is to pray, to vote, and to stand, to be bold in our standing for the truth. As you said, we have no reason to apologize. Now, people may be offended by that, but that's on them. Now, I will also say, I do not think we should be offensive in our conduct. We share the truth out of a love for others so that they might come to know the truth, yes. Find the purpose and meaning that life has when we're in relationship with Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
And public education is not off limits to the truth.
For sure it isn't. In public education, the good of the public is to have the truth. That is the point, right? And so I think that when we want to, we love our country and we want to enjoy its blessings and have our children enjoy the blessings of this nation, we have to be ready to stand
right.
and to proclaim that what is true.
Final question for you, Meg. You've been tracking education. You're in the Department of Education. We saw the silver lining from COVID, parents more aware. Is this more, could this be, as people see the evil that has begun to manifest itself, could this be a booster rocket for parents and others to move in and begin to influence education even more?
I certainly hope so. The opportunity is here. The need has never been greater. And so I hope that people will take this opportunity to really engage in their communities and most especially engage with your own children.
Yeah.
Make sure they know the faith.
Yeah.
And make sure they're not afraid to share it either.
That's biblical. It's exactly what God told us to do. Meg Kilgannon, always great to see you.
It's great to see you, Tony.
Thanks so much for keeping up on that stuff and keeping us filled in.